conduct of elections in a plural society like Nigeria is often characterized by animosities, malice, and violence. To reverse the trend ahead of the governorship election in 3 states later this year, stakeholders in election matters suggest ways forward with accurate data on violence recorded during the 2023 election. Noor Samson has more of the details.
Governorship election in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa states is few months away. But learning from the 2023 general elections, stakeholders say identifying the causes of electoral violence and ways of mitigating them is important.
The general elections, as they have reported, was relatively peaceful, according to their report. And from what we know as journalists, that the election was relatively peaceful, even more peaceful than the 2019 general elections. You saw it in their report. The cases reported, tracked during this election was lower. The record was lower to that of 2019. So that is an achievement in terms of being peaceful.
Most importantly, what we need to do to party talks, to power of incumbency, to finance of election violence, because we have seen from the data that it takes resources to finance election violence. So again, we also seen that, look, we have to do better in terms of arrest, in terms of being proactive and not reactive, in terms of making use of intelligence report to curb electoral violence.
The electoral violence is the deliberate use of force to attain political power. So in Nigeria, we have seen that a lot of politicians incite this kind of violence to ensure that they grab power by all means.
Furthermore, ways in which electoral violence could be stopped or brought to a minimum are highlighted.
Our advice and we are already shouting it now, is that the security agencies need to be proactive. They need to begin to go and mop up all this proliferation of these light arms in those states. They need to take it off. They need to look at the perpetrators of violence as we have placed them today. Greater percentage of them are the political thugs.
INEC is taking the issue of electoral offences very seriously. Very, very seriously. And it won't be like before, that people will just commit an offense and it will go away. No, we started with our own staff, the Rex, for instance.
One good way is to leverage the available data to see areas, flashpoints where this violence occurred. When you leverage data, you see the specific locations where this occurred, and then you see you define the kind of violence. Is it that there are people who are known to cause this violence? Like, for example, are there thugs, particular thugs who are known every electoral year, you see them performing the same acts of violence?
Electoral violence do not only undermine the electoral process, but also undermines civil and political rights of citizens in any given society. Noor Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.